in the vast silent heart of the Arabian desert. As the sun paints the sky with hues of gold and orange, the story of unwavering faith began to unfold. This wasn't just another day. It was the dawn of a moment that would echo through eternity. A gentle wind whispered secrets across the endless dunes, carrying with it a tale of courage against all odds. Here, a small band of believers, just over 300 souls, stood firm. Their clothing was simple, their weapons few. They were not an army in the traditional sense. They were a community united by a powerful conviction. As the camera circles, you can see the determination etched not on their faces, but in their very posture. They were outnumbered, out-equipped, yet their spirits were unshakable. Their faith, their strongest shield. The sunlight behind them wasn't just illuminating the scene. It was highlighting the dawn of a new era. Then, on the horizon, a force of 1,000 appeared. The Quraysh army, a formidable wave of steel and might, marched with an intimidating rhythm. Their armor glinted under the sun, their horses kicking up clouds of dust that seemed to swallow the sky. This was the embodiment of worldly power, a stark contrast to the humble group they came to crush. The sheer scale was meant to inspire fear, to make the believers' cause seem utterly hopeless. It was a classic tale of David versus Goliath, but with stakes that felt as vast as the desert itself. As night fell, draping the desert in a blanket of cool darkness and a million stars, one man stood alone. We see him only from behind, a figure of profound humility and leadership, his hands raised in earnest prayer. This was the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, pouring his heart out to the heavens. In this moment of quiet solitude, he wasn't a commander planning a battle. He was a servant pleading with his Lord. The wind gently rustled his cloak as he connected with the divine, seeking strength not from numbers, but from the source of all strength. It was in this profound spiritual plea that the true nature of the coming victory was forged. Suddenly, the night sky transformed. The clouds parted as if commanded, and beams of divine light pierced the darkness. In those radiant shafts of light, ethereal figures, ascended angels, sent as a sign of heavenly support. The atmosphere crackled with a powerful, spiritual energy. This wasn't just a battle between two groups of men anymore. It was a manifestation of divine intervention, a promise that those who stand for truth are never truly alone. The sight was a reassurance, a miracle unfolding before the battle had even begun. At dawn, the two armies finally clashed. The air exploded with the sound of clashing swords and the cries of warriors. It was a chaotic, intense scene of brutal combat. Yet, amid the chaos, something extraordinary was happening. Streaks of light, unseen forces, moved across the battlefield. Enemy soldiers would fall, struck by an invisible hand, their surprise and confusion clear even in the heat of battle. This was the divine aid made manifest, the angels fighting alongside the believers, turning the tide in a way no military strategy could ever predict. Each fallen enemy was a testament not to the believers' strength, but to the power of the one they trusted. The climax of the battle arrived with the fall of the enemy's most arrogant leaders. We see a powerful armored commander, a symbol of pride and opposition, finally brought down as he falls in the golden light of the setting sun, dust rising around him. It signifies more than just a single defeat. It's the defeat of arrogance in the face of humility, the fall of tyranny before the power of faith. It was a clear and undeniable message. True power does not lie in wealth or numbers, but in righteousness and submission to God. As the sun sets on the now-come battlefield, the victors stand, exhausted but filled with an overwhelming sense of gratitude. The small group of believers, who had stood against impossible odds, now looked upon a scene of incredible triumph. Some raised their hands in thanks, their hearts overflowing. The victory wasn't theirs alone, it was a gift. The desert, once a stage for a fearsome clash, was now a place of serene peace. This wasn't just the end of a battle. It was the powerful confirmation of a promise, a historical masterpiece written by the hand of the divine. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that inspire